Welcome to the Kuribros, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime Recap Podcast. I'm your host, putting the hoe in Phoenix. Trust me, it's there. I'm Phoenix. Joining me, extra virgin like some olive oils, it's Andy. How you doing, Andy?
We just picked up some extra virgin olive oil today, funny enough.
The only reason I used that for your intro bit is because I saw the comic of the... I don't know if anyone's ever seen it. It's the guy who did Connecticut Clark. He has another one where it's a guy that's like looking, sees olive oil lightly fucked. He's like, what the fuck does that mean?
Oh, you know what that means. It was
Anyway,
gentle.
we are your hosts here, both of us in varying stages of purity, here to tell you about Yu-Gi-Oh!
What? Jesus Christ, I'm not ready for this.
He was a virgin birth.
He was a... So, last time on... I'm so fucked. Last time...
We've been over this.
God damn it. Last time on this great show that we call the Kuribros, we did cover the second duel of the Battle City Finals, which was Joey versus Odeon, where at the end, some shocking things happened to both of them, and one of them only one of them got up.
Yeah, it's like the Thunderdome. 2 men go in, 1 comes out.
Is that Mad Max?
Yes.
That's crazy.
That's the one with... I don't want to say in confidence it was Eartha Kitt.
Oh.
It was the lady from Star Wars? Not Star Wars, Star Trek.
I don't know. I've never watched Star Trek.
Am I thinking of something completely different?
Welcome to a Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime podcast where we're going to talk about Mad
I am
Max.
100% wrong.
Who is it?
It was Tina Turner. I saw the movie once a long time ago. I don't watch a lot of movies.
I've only ever seen The Fury Road. I wanted to go see Furiosa, but I have not done that at all.
I don't think you're missing anything by not seeing it.
Oh, I heard it was pretty good.
Right, but it's a prequel movie, and we already know she survives because she's in the actual movie.
I mean, I'm fine with that if it's an entertaining movie, enough like prequel. I mean, you did have me watch Fate Stay Night before Ultimate Blade Works.
I had you watch Fate Zero before
Zero.
Blade Works.
Zero.
And Blade Works is the prequel or Zero is the prequel to Blade Works.
That's
so
what
I had
I
you
mean.
watch in the right order.
But
you just
wasn't
didn't know that there was a sequel.
Wait. Isn't it a prequel series?
Yes, Zero is the prequel to Stay Night.
So now I watched it as, at least I could do that because
Yeah, you watched in the proper timeline order, not the release order. But the one I had you watch was Blade Works, which I think was a different story path than the original Stay Night anime, which was done by Studio Dean. So there was another version. Who gives a shit? We're moving on.
hey, if you want us to ever talk about it, I can vaguely talk about it one day if we do a special on it, if you want.
Yeah, and if you send in your mail letters, I'll rate Fate characters and tell you if I would or would not.
Let me tell you.
The answers may surprise you.
You know what? They wouldn't surprise me, but they might. Either way, what are we going to cover this episode?
You're going to make me say it, huh?
I mean, you want me to say it?
You're going to make me
You want me to do it?
in the webcam eyes and say what's going to be covered.
I can do it if you want.
No. You started us down this path. We're going to be covering the duels between Mai and Merrick, and then Kaiba and Ishizu. I'm covering the first parts. Andy gets the nice part.
I feel like you're spoiling this for the people.
I think the statute of limitations on is it a spoiler goes out the window after 10 years, which was a long time ago.
It's actually probably a little over 20 years at this point. And on the 25th anniversary as we record this.
That's for the card
the
game.
anime. Well, then, not that too much behind then. Or, well.
And yet, the pain feels so new.
Oh, buddy. Well, I'm sorry for your loss. Do you want us to get started and rip that Band-Aid off?
Yeah, sure. I'll begin by covering Episode 90, covering chapters 159.
Oh, buddy.
Oh boy. The episode opens on a light note. A man is in a coma.
Yay!
Odeon is being assessed by a doctor, while the squad is also in his room, and the notification goes out across the speakers that the next duelist bingo to decide round 3 will be in 15 minutes. The doctor says that Odeon's vitals are solid, but he's unconscious from mental shock. Joey thinks it's weird that Ra hit both of them, but he's fine while Odeon's having a little snooze. And Joey takes his time to swear vengeance on Merrick for not caring about Odeon's fate after he took the risk for him, and for Merrick also controlling people's minds and being a dick. Mai feels pity for Odeon because he was abandoned, and this helps Joey to figure out that he was able to stand up because while he was unconscious, he dreamed about all his friends helping him, but Odeon doesn't have that support system. Mai thinks fondly of being called friends with everyone, and as they all go to bingo night, Mai asks Joey if she was in his dream too. Joey lies and says he was at school in the dream and that Mai is too old to be in high school. He then says some other cringe shit I'm not gonna go into detail about and leaves, but Taya grabs him in the hallway and chastises him for being thoughtless. What else is new? Water wet.
Taya this is the best I've ever seen Taya throughout this season. Just watching her scold Joey on this because god damn it, Joey, you're being a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Joey's carelessness makes Mai regress, and she thinks back to how she's been alone before meeting the squad, how she'd taken pride in her independence, and how only one person can win the tournament, so why help each other? At bingo night, Merrick and the 8th duelist are not present, and Joey calls out Merrick entering under a fake name. Kaiba doesn't care and says, names don't matter, only skills. Internally, Kaiba thinks about getting Ra from Merrick and using 2 god cards would let him beat Yugi easily. A normal man in his natural environment.
It'd be so much better if I had 2 god cards. It'd be so much cooler if I had 2 of those. I could hold them in both hands.
Yeah, and the blue one's definitely better than Yugi's red one, so if I should make like a list or a tier and put the blue one at the top and the red one at the bottom.
I'll put the gold one in the middle because, whatever.
Yeah, because if I had that, I'd definitely win, but I could still win with just Obelisk.
I could totally win with just Obelisk. I could totally beat him next round. It'll totally happen.
And it's character regression time. The machine gives out Mai's number and she leaves to go to the arena before her opponent is decided. The squad say they'll come to support her, but Mai tells them not to and dismisses being a part of their group, chastising Joey for not being able to duel unless someone cheers for him. We cut to the doctor leaving Odeon's room, and then Merrick shows up, using his powers to get the room key from him. Oh, should probably mention, this is like Merrick when now his hair is all like spiked up and edgier now that he's become turbo evil. He's also wearing like a cape.
Yeah, where'd that come from?
I mean, he had a cloak, so you could probably just, tear some of it off.
I mean, he probably just has it on, is what it is.
Yeah. So, Merrick mind whammies the doctor, enters the room, and pulls part of the Millennium Rod off to reveal a spike in the handle. Merrick says that as long as Odeon is alive, he could be repressed again, so he'll kill Odeon before that can happen. But, before Merrick can lower his arm slightly, he hears the room's intercom that he will be Mai's opponent in the duel, and decides to leave instead of getting a quick murder in.
Believe it or not, I know it's probably hard to believe, they 4-kids the knife that's in the rod.
No.
I know it's hard to believe, but they did not insinuate that he was going to kill him. He was going to go to the Shadow Realm instead.
Cowards to the very end. Well, I'm going to my own personal Shadow Realm right now. On the top of the blimp, Mai is in place for the duel as Merrick comes up the elevator. Kaiba and Mokuba and the ref are the only other people present to watch the match. The duel begins with Mai going first. She summons Duname's Dark Witch in attack position and passes. Merrick plays Revival Jam in defense and activates Jam Breeding Machine to make slime tokens. At this point, the squad all runs up and Mai tells them off, saying she only needs her own strength. Joe responds that she's free to think that all she wants. But all of them are also free to do whatever they want and think of her as their friend and cheer for her anyway. Taya draws Yami's attention to the field, and he clocks Merrick is using the cards that Strings had in his duel. Which, I don't know why Taya drew attention to that. I don't think she was aware of that duel at all.
Yeah, so how they kind of do it in the dub is Taya doesn't go like, oh, look at that familiar card. She goes, what the fuck is that, more or less? She's like, kind of like, what the hell is that on the field?
What in God's name is that thing? It's just
much.
a little slime ball. Like the little Dragon Quest Akira Toriyama slime. Just, good God, what is that?
Jesus Christ, what are you doing there?
It's one of God's forgotten creatures.
Why did Merrick show in the field, and why is his shit blue and has a face?
Of course, you have blue monsters and pronouns.
I just want to point out, pretty much all the duel that's about to happen at this part of this story is all filler. And I just noticed, I've noticed a trend with the filler duels that, especially
they make me hurt.
Well, they didn't go that far yet. They'll get there. But Merrick doesn't use Revival Jam or Jamboree Machine, any of these established cards they use in at any point in the future in the past. And I noticed when you're in a filler duel, it's always the cards that they've used in past duels and nothing more. There's no really new ever any new cards. It's really apparent with Merrick because he's using all the cards that other people used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although it does kind of make sense why he would have them because he gave them out.
How'd he get him back? That person was on the floor. He ain't moving.
They used the old Ghoul at-home printer to make copies.
Oh, you're right.
Yami starts to warn Mai about these cards because he's played against them, but she stops him from giving any advice, as any advice he says would break the rules and disqualify her. Merrick keeps referring to Mai as woman throughout this, and it comes off very incel-y and gross. Doubly so because he's fucking 16. Get off of Reddit.
Oh shit, Merrick is 16.
Yeah.
That's
a young man. That's a lad. That's a boy.
Well, is the spirit 16? How old's the spirit?
The spirit that is currently in control of Merrick is definitely younger than 16, and will later say that his birthday is when Merrick turned 10. So he's 6.
Oh no. It's even worse. I thought he was
You can't be talking like that, evil baby.
Evil child. So the thing is I asked that because I always assumed that this spirit was just some sort of dark. I don't want to say Bakura because obviously Bakura I think is a real person or a whatever the hell entity. I don't know, but just thought maybe it's some sort of shadow spirit that's all around that just knows what he is. But I guess that's fine. This is fine too.
Later on at the end of the duel, or towards the end, evil Merrick will say where he came from, and I'll get to that then, but spoiler alert, he's 6. Yeah, who knew? On Mai's turn, she attacks the Revival Jam, but it reforms, as jams are wont to do. On Merrick's turn, he plays Pot of Greed. Greed is good. And his machine makes a slime token. He then sets one card and passes. Mai, Yami, and Kaiba all internally deduce that Merrick's strategy is to use Jam Defender and his slime machine to stall until he can summon Ra. On Mai's turn, she plays Harpy's Feather Duster, which gets rid of Merrick's entire back row, including his set card and the machine, then attacks the slime token. Merrick's life points go down to 2,700. Mai sets one card and passes. Merrick then summons Melkid the Four-Faced Beast and tributes both his monsters to special summon Masked Beast Desgardius with 3,300 attack points. Which I did double check. This is in fact just how you special summon this card.
Hey.
So, hey, this may actually be one of the more legit duels.
Up until kind of the end. Because I don't believe what... Well, I guess we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get to the part that's horrible. Merrick attacks, but Mai activates Mirror Wall to have Guardius's power and destroys it. Because Desgardius was sent to the graveyard, it then puts a mask onto Dunamis Dark Witch that gives Merrick control of it. Merrick then plays Remove Trap to clear away Mirror Wall and passes his turn. Merrick at this point pulls out the Millennium Rod and makes the duel a shadow game. The OG squad recognizes the Dark Fog from when Pegasus dueled Yugi. Yami tries to make Mai quit the duel, saying she'll die if she loses, but Mai refuses, saying her duelist heart would die if she were to quit. I will talk more about the narrative oddness of this duel later, but this is kind of a weird spot for the characters, because the risk of a shadow game could also have been assumed in the duels with Evil Bakura and Odeon, because Evil Bakura has done it before, and Odeon was pretending to be Merrick, but no one told Yami or Joey to bail out of those duels, so it is a little hypocritical of them to tell Mai to bail out when they did not also. But at the same time, Evil Merrick is nuttier than a Snickers bar, so they are right, get out of there.
So yeah, there's two things I could say with that. Well, with one, Yami, he's had the experience with the shadow game, so if anyone can face anyone in a shadow game, it's Yami. So I don't think they're as worried about that. He's already taken on and won Millennium items. Well, he didn't win them. Bakura took that one, but you know what I mean. So Bakura, I think, was a different story. And also, he already did take on Bakura and won. Even no matter how you kind of establish the canon of that with just the card game or the board game, he still has beaten Bakura before.
Right.
With Odeon, fair. I can kind of see where you're coming from with that. Maybe for some reason, because no one else did a shadow game, I guess they didn't have a Millennium puzzle, like a Millennium item or anything. You could say maybe they weren't expecting it so early, or maybe they were only expecting it for like Yami. But I'm reaching a little bit. Maybe I agree with you, more or less. But I just wanted to kind of think of like maybe what's the other side of the story. Either way, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. On her turn, she sets a card and summons the Unfriendly Amazon. Her monster is outlined by a light, and Merrick says it's easier to show what it does than explain it, and his face does that weird stretching thing, and he gets a weird effect on his voice that's kind of echoey.
This is where it starts getting canon. This is where the start of the duel actually happened in the manga.
Okay. Mai attacks the witch, and we see an image of Taya, who gets cut in half at the same time as the witch. And Merrick says that was because the witch was originally Mai's monster. The effect of the shadow game will be felt by her and not him. He further explains that the monsters on the field contain the souls of people that exist in their memories, and then when a monster is destroyed, they forget whoever was connected to that monster. Merrick keeps giving the heebie-jeebies, as he has nothing else to give, saying he can see what Mai fears the most, which is being left alone as her friends all leave her. And Mai literally loses the ability to see Taya.
So this doesn't happen in the manga. Takahashi did not do this. He did more violent things. Not necessarily like, he basically did things that I think if the anime were to do them, it wouldn't be TV appropriate. But it wasn't like Berserk level bad if I had to go anywhere. But it was like probably a little worse for TV. So I think this is what it was, a pretty decent narrative way to kind of also show pain or show like stakes in this that didn't have to be so violent. And it's on both ends too.
Yeah, from what you're saying, it sounds like in the manga it was more even stakes between the two of them, whereas Merrick makes the point that he doesn't care about losing memories of people.
Yeah, it's like when the monster dies, you feel the pain. You feel the physical pain, and so a lot of like, and we'll kind of go more into it as we get into the episodes. One monster has like Wolverine hands kind of thing, and Wolverine claws, and slashes one of Mai's monsters, and Mai gets like a slash across her chest kind of thing, and like blood goes everywhere. Illusion blood, not real blood. And so she thinks she's seeing like her body get wounded when everyone else is seeing like no, there's nothing happening on the outside. So it's all in her mind.
Merrick says Mai will have the pleasure of dying in loneliness and despair. Relatable.
Yay.
That's what makes this a shadow game. But he's got a creepy whisper echo on shadow game. And the episode ends.
Oh boy.
Here comes the pain train. Everybody got your tickets? I know I do. Got the day pass. Gonna be riding this rail all the way.
Phoenix, I just want to let you know, if we ever decide to not do Yu-Gi-Oh! And move on to a different series someday.
Are we doing trains?
I was gonna say, if we do One Piece and God forbid anything ever happens to Nico Robin, but if something happens to Nico Robin, I'll understand, and you can kind of make me take those brunts. I definitely want to do the Enies Lobby part though, if we ever get there.
I think if we were breaking One Piece down in this format by arcs, our episodes would be 8 hours long.
Booyah!
This is your car trip podcast, the cross country.
All right, we're gonna do Romance Dawn next week. We'll see ya.
Yeah, the original one.
Oh yeah, I have that on my bookshelf.
Yeah, actually, we're gonna go way back. We're gonna read the original Monster one shot.
Yeah, one day let's do. Okay, we're doing One Piece after we're all done Yu-Gi-Oh. Maybe
Okay.
we're 50. Maybe we're 50.
Yeah. Anyway, we're not 50. We're 90.
What?
91. Episode 91, chapters 160 to 162. It opens with Merrick at 2350 life points and Mai still at 4,000.
Yeah.
The squad can tell something fucky is going on, but don't know what, so they give generic support to Mai. Mai can faintly hear Taya, but can only see a vague outline of her. On Merrick's turn, he sets a card and summons Makiura the Destructor, which is that dude with the Wolverine claws Andy just mentioned.
Yeah.
And he equips it with Black Pendant, which makes it stronger than Mai's Unfriendly Amazon. Merrick attacks, and Mai activates her Amazoness Archer Trap card, which weakens Makiura, and on her counterattack, Merrick's monster is destroyed, and he loses his memories of Strings, the mime.
You know what happens to Merrick in the manga?
What?
He gets decapitated.
I wish that happened in this.
His head falls on the ground, he picks it up, and Mai freaks the fuck out.
That's an appropriate reaction.
It is.
Merrick is indifferent to the memory loss, and Mai takes 500 damage from the Black Pendant. Merrick then uses Makiura's effect, which activates when it is destroyed, to play a trap card from his hand, which is Rope of Life, which brings back Makiura with 800 more attack points. Merrick attacks again, this time successfully destroying the unfriendly Amazon, who is connected to Mai's memories of Joey. We now get a very quick backstory of Mai's, finally getting her development, showing that her parents died when she was very young, and she had no relatives, so she grew up on her own. She was inspired by the Harpy Lady card, which isn't strong on its own, but can use armor and equipment to make itself stronger. So that's how she decided to live. After meeting the squad and getting a taste of friendship, she didn't want to be alone anymore. We now go back to the now times.
Okay, so two things. One, manga doesn't give any backstory on Mai, unfortunately, but I think that's mainly for page count purposes. Two, that's not what they say, how they explain it in the dub.
How do they explain it in the dub?
Well, parents don't die, first of all. They move around a lot.
That's like the number one thing parents do. They have you and they die.
Well, I mean, I guess, but it's not a Disney movie. It's a card game. It's a card game on 4Kids, not Disney. So they move around a lot, so she never could keep friends. And she gets a job at a casino or something, and then gets into Duel Monster cards, and she likes Harpy Lady. She just grows attached to the Harpy Lady cards that she finds, and she ends up winning with them. I like yours better.
I do too.
I like that one a lot better significantly. It actually makes a lot more sense. Even with, like, especially with the armor and everything like that.
Yeah.
A shame. Fuck you, 4Kids.
Yeah, fuck them. They're dead now.
Yeah.
Speaking of dead now, in the now times, Merrick uses Killer Queen's Bites the Dust to explode Mai's memories of Joey. Andy hasn't seen that far in JoJo, so he doesn't get that joke, but someday that'll be hilarious. Mai collapses to her knees, and Joey tries to call out to her, but to no avail. Joey asks Yami what's going on, and Yami explains that Merrick is destroying Mai's memories of her friends. Yami tries to think of a way to stop a shadow game after it's begun, and he uses the Millennium Puzzle to shine a light through the shadow game, and we enter a sort of liminal space of darkness inside the game, where Mai and Merrick are, and inside the shadows, Yami also appears. He tells Mai that the shadow game, the ones who breaks emotionally, is the loser. He goes on to say that Merrick is using illusions to try and break Mai, but if she wins, everything will go back to normal. So, in fact, Mai isn't really losing the memories of people. Merrick's just making her think she is, because it's not final until the match is over.
Yeah, it's the same thing with, like, I was saying, Mai seeing illusions of just gruesome violence and, like, feeling pain, but it's all in her head. It's the same exact thing. No one else is seeing this stuff.
Yeah.
Also, Yugi doesn't do this in the manga. He just, he does give a really good pep talk, though. He just doesn't need to do the whole Millennium thing yet.
I kind of like the Millennium thing, because also we got to see Merrick getting really pissy about Yami entering the Shadow Dimension.
Well, he does get really pissy at Yami for, giving pep talks, but then he's just like, I'm just going to torture the fuck out of her more. Spoilers.
Ah, what a dick. Snap back to reality. Whoop, there goes gravity. Someone really should have updated Mai and the whole ancient Egypt shadow magic stuff at some point.
Yeah, I mean, if she was going to hang with this crew, she kind of should have gotten the backstory. But to be fair, in this show, or at least in the anime, everyone who isn't a millennium person, for a lack of better term right now, has, like, no kind of, like, they can't really seem to grasp it or understand it, or, like, don't believe it's even really real, even though they've had these, like, very significant experiences with it since, like, episode 1 or at 2, I guess. So it's like, it's harder to believe. I feel like even Kaiba everyone, like, the squad is definitely more on board with it in the manga, and even Kaiba to some extent is at least a little bit less like, oh, fucking hocus pocus magic shit, and is more like, I don't believe in your shit. I have my own convictions and I will stick by those more than anything. So this is why I guess it makes more sense in the anime, but I don't like it.
Anyway, speaking of things I don't like, let's talk more about this duel. Mai can hear Joey again. Yippee. Merrick's pissed that Yami ruined his evil fun. It's Mai's turn. She summons Amazoness Chainmaster in attack position, sets one card, and passes. Merrick's turn, he summons Holding Arms, which is just It's shackles that can hold your arms.
That's not what it is in the manga. It is a.
Oh.
It is like a headgear that has spikes on the side. And like, and they'll go like this to her temples.
Oh, it's one of those things they used to use in psychiatric places to deal with female hysteria.
Is that? Maybe. Hang on. Let me see.
Female hysteria is just a generic term they used back in the day to describe we don't feel like acknowledging women as people, so we're just gonna invent war crimes but not call them out.
Invent war? Yeah, pretty much. I'm trying to find the thing.
Geneva Convention. More like Geneva Checklist.
Oh, here it is.
Thanks, I hate it.
That's on the Amazonist, by the way.
Yeah, don't like that.
No, it's not fun. It's very violent.
Yeah, so the holding arm's attached to Chainmaster, which locks it in place to prevent it from attacking and will destroy it in a couple turns. Yami is McPissed at Merrick for going this far with his friends, and Merrick tells Yami to feed that hate, and maybe it will equal his own by the time they duel, which I thought was kind of a neat line.
Yeah, he says something like, I've been waiting to fight you for 1,000 years, let your anger reach out and touch my own. Really cool. This is when Yami starts doing Millennium shit, like his Millennium Eye, like the Millennium Eye.
Oh yeah, Yami and Merrick. I don't think Merrick has like the Millennium Eye on his forehead throughout this, but Yami does.
He does.
Ah, hey, his face is stretching.
Yeah, it is.
And he's showing me manga panels.
I have the book up because I use it for obviously scripting and stuff.
Yeah. Mai activates her set card, Grave Arm, which puts a monster into the graveyard, and she uses it on her own Chainmaster. This then activates Chainmaster's effect, letting her pay 1,000 life points to take a card out of Merrick's deck, which is the Winged Dragon of Ra. On Mai's turn, she sets 2 cards, summons Amazoness Fighter in attack mode, and passes. Merrick's turn, he's pretty calm about the whole Ra thing.
He really? He isn't in the manga because he says, torturing you to death won't be enough now, ... woman.
God damn it.
The incelly is real. I mean, for what it's worth, if this was any other card or like this was any other duel and she got like did that with like whatever person's most powerful card, she would have won the duel easily. Like, props to her. It just sucks that it's this card.
You want to know how it actually, let me just Google something to make sure.
It's so cool seeing her hold the card though, so triumphantly. Just sucks.
Yeah, you want to know how this hurts extra hard? And we'll get more in detail.
What?
Mai wouldn't have needed to summon Ra to win.
How come? Well, I guess we'll get there.
Yep. Anyway, her monster goes to the grave, she has Ra, has Amazoness Fighter out, and passes turn. Merrick attacks with Makiura. Mai activates Amazoness Spellcaster, which is a card that swaps the power of their monsters. So Makiura is destroyed, and Merrick's memories of Arcana vanish as well. Merrick activates Card of Last Will, which enables him to draw 5 cards after one of his monsters has attack power changed. He then also uses Makiura's effect to play Nightmare Wheel from his hand, which binds the Amazoness Fighter and deals 500 damage to Mai on each of her turns. Mai responds with Dramatic Rescue, which returns the fighter to her hand and lets her summon Cyber Harpy in its place. On Mai's turn, she plays Graceful Charity, drawing 3 cards, discarding 2. Mai plays Elegant Egotist to summon 2 more Harpies, giving her the monsters needed to tribute for Ra, which she does. And in a bright flash of light, Ra appears, and it's a ball.
It's a ball.
God is a ball.
It looks just like, if anyone's reading the.
If you've ever seen a ball, that's what it is.
Do you read you've heard the Don whatever? Have you heard?
I know
that?
The name. I've never read it.
Well, there's something about golden balls in it, and I think this is what Ra looks like.
Sure.
Some people will get that. Some people won't.
I'm not one of them.
Well, the anime's coming out soon, so you'll get it someday if you watch
Yeah.
it. It's pretty good. I would actually recommend.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I've recommended that you haven't watched.
Well, we're not talking about me.
We could. Let's make this about you. Let's take this Yu-Gi-Oh podcast and make it the Andy Show. The Andy Griffith Show. Is our Andy Griffith Show recap podcast?
Oh no, God! Let's just keep going back more and more. We'll do the first television broadcast at some point.
Yeah, this is our Jerry's Kids recap podcast.
Jesus Christ!
I'm stalling to avoid the pain. Episode 92, chapters 163 to 165. Everyone's confused about the God Ball.
Yeah, me too.
Merrick explains that Ra was successfully summoned, but Mai cannot control it. Merrick draws attention to the physical card that Mai has, and she sees it has hieroglyphics on its text that explain how to awaken Ra's true power, but she cannot read them. Kaiba tells Mokuba to quick go to the computer room, scan her duel disk to see what's written on the card. Merrick tells Mai that if she cannot read Ra, she cannot use any of its abilities, but does say the writing is called hieratic text, and that only a select few were able to read it in ancient Egypt, such as Merrick's family. He goes on to say that even Pegasus himself could not read Ra, and just copied the hieratic text from the tablet to make the card. And he also made it so the text only appears after the card has been played. Right now, Ra is in sphere mode, the ball, until its text is read.
Battle mode is what he calls it.
Yeah.
Battle mode.
Mai sets one card and passes. On Merrick's turn, he plays Holding Legs, which returns all set cards to their owner's hand, and for having Holding Legs and Holding Arms on the field, Ujot's tablet appears behind Mai, both holding monsters attached to Mai and then to the tablet, preventing Mai from moving, and everything is horrible. Merrick then attacks with both of his monsters, and taunts Yami, saying that Ra has 3 different effects, and he'll reveal one of them. He begins chanting something under his breath, which then makes Ra leave sphere mode, opening up to reveal its true form, and placing it under Merrick's control.
Is it distinguishable, or is it
Not distinguishable.
weird? Because I think you would know.
Yeah,
that
and like there's like the great beast from the sky, please hear my cry, and all that shit.
It's so corny. It's so bad. I wish they would have just like, maybe they didn't want to offend anyone by doing some sort of like reference to speaking Egyptian or whatever, or ancient Egyptian or whatever, but this was not much better. Probably could have gone away with just mumbling something and not even having, like, not even trying to like say you were saying something, but saying like, oh, I can't understand it.
Yeah.
Because even that's what they do that's what they do. He's like, just like, he's speak texting just the text.
Merrick threatens that Ra's attack will burn Mai to death. Merrick tells Yami that the tattoo on his back will show the pharaoh to his lost memories. But the trauma normal Merrick went through as a gravekeeper overtook his heart and made this Merrick. If Merrick really hates the pharaoh that much, why not do something to make his back tat unreadable as a true spite play?
I don't think he wants to go through the same pain he went through getting
Well, if he did it once and it came out like super evil, does it again, he'll come out more evil, and he'll love that more.
What if he'll come out super good, though? Like, it's like a canceling out.
Then it sounds like a net positive.
Touche.
This, Merrick explains, he can only be able to take over Merrick when he was truly McPissed, but now that Odeon has MIA, he has full control. Joey tries to make the ref cancel the match, but this dickhead refuses. Joey then climbs up on the ring, and the ref threatens to disqualify him, but Joey tells him to get fucked.
As we all do.
Yeah. Joey runs out to Mai, but she cannot see him, only hear his voice. He tries to undo the binds on her, but they do not move. There's a nice moment between them, and their bond is able to overcome Merrick's power, so Mai is able to remember Joey and see him again. Unfortunately, an angry god and an even angrier teenager are not having it, and Merrick attacks with intent to kill. But Yami jumps in the way of Ra's attack and comes out of it a little crispy.
Yeah, it's probably one of the cooler moments of this duel, if we're being honest, just watching not only Joey, but Yami just take the brunt force. Well, Yami definitely takes the brunt force of Ra's attack, but at least, like, you know, Yami and Joey are there to protect Mai, even at the end.
Yeah. Merrick's attack does eliminate Mai's remaining life points, and Merrick is named the winner. He crosses the field and uses his Millennium powers to paralyze Joey. He then takes back his Ra card and uses the Millennium Rod to lock Mai in her subconscious, where she is trapped in the bottom half of an hourglass, and as the sands fill, her memories are destroyed. And there's also some bit where, like, everyone else of the friend squad is, like, running around on a beach below, and they can't see her in the hourglass. It sucks. In reality, Merrick is taunting that maybe if he defeats him, Mai will be saved.
There's no visions of Mai's friends at the beach when she's dealing with this imprisonment. But there are bugs instead of sand in the hourglass thing. But the friends thing also makes it a little more, to be honest with you. So I'm glad they didn't do that, because having Mai like be tortured like that while watching her friends have fun I think would be the ultimate hell.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Thanks, I hate it.
That's going to be the title of this podcast. Thanks, I hate it.
They scrape Yami off of the arena and inform him of the current shit situation of all of it. But Kaiba's informed by Mokuba he's begun to decipher Ra. And so, Kaiba, being normal, tells everyone to get the fuck out of the field. He's got a match to get to.
I gotta do my dueling.
Peel your twinks off the floor. I've got some shit to do.
Oh my god.
After Mai had stolen Ra, Merrick had one monster who only has a piddly 500 attack points on the field. Mai had her Harpy Lady, and Elegant Egotisted out 2 more Harpy Ladies. They could have just all attacked in one.
Damn. She could have won.
Yeah, would have gotten a god card. Also, because I'm not done talking about my Valentine, never have been, never will be, Ra did not smite her down when she summoned it.
Why would it have?
Because whenever they were using the ghouls to try to summon Ra, it killed them.
But they were trying to summon the counterfeits.
Right, but they also said that the god cards only respond to people who have connection to Millennium items. Which means Ra made an exception.
Yeah, because Mai's great.
Right. Ra would have been fine being Mai's card.
I mean, it's true. I would have been fine with it too.
Yeah.
Also, would have been fine with it being someone else's god card as well.
Yeah, really anyone but the evil man.
Honestly, yeah. I've always hated that ability of Ra's where it's like, you have to read a battle chant. It's like, what? Who fucking, what? You're not that special, Ra. No one likes Ra, I don't think. I'm sure some people do.
The longest time, Ra was the worst god card, and it probably still is because you still have to do the most hoops jump through to use it.
I hate that they call it the most powerful one because it's clearly not.
Yeah.
I would think probably Obelisk would be.
I think Slifer's the best one.
You think?
Because Slifer just does stuff by being on the field, like automatically shooting your opponent's monsters with the 2000 power second mouth.
Does that do that in the real card game?
Yes, if a monster is played in your opponent's field in attack mode, Slifer shoots it, checks to see if it survives the 2000 damage, and if it doesn't, it destroys it. Get fucked, Link summoning.
I like that.
And Obelisk just has like a set 4000 power, so that was good. And there was even a card or a deck type for a while called Frogalisk, using frogs and Obelisk.
Ooh.
And Ra was just kind of bad.
Yeah, I don't understand what's so. I think they have to go through anime hoops or just at least narrative hoops to make it good.
Yeah, because like in the anime, Ra has the power of all the monsters tributed to summon it. Not in the actual, you have to pay life points when it's summoned to give it power. Unless you use another card.
Oh boy. Well, can't wait to get the most not sought after god card by the end of all this.
Speaking of things that are sought after, I'm not done talking.
Oh boy.
Because now we're going to get to the part where I use a little bit of my higher education to answer the question, does Mai versus Merrick work as a storyline?
Okay.
Now, here's the reason why it could work. Both characters have backstories of growing up isolated. Mai lost her parents and grew up alone and then went through society more or less by herself until eventually meeting the Friendship Squad. Merrick grew up raised in an isolated community of gravekeepers and probably didn't get out to the greater world at large until, I don't know, a year ago.
Probably.
Right. That's the reasons why it does work. Here's the shit why it doesn't work under scrutiny. There's no connecting thread between this match like the other duels have had. Yami and Bakura's connection is strong and is also a rematch, because they have their whole Millennium connection that we'll get to in the future, but there is a basis for them to duel each other. Joey and Odeon are both protective older brothers, and with the idea that Odeon was Merrick, Joey would also want payback against him for what was done to him with the mind control stuff.
Yes.
Kaiba and Ishizu, which is the next match, have met before in what I'm going to call a minor confrontation of Ishizu mind blasting Kaiba, still funny, and they would be dueling for the, spoiler, ownership of Obelisk, and to put pitting against differing ideologies of Ishizu believing in destiny and Kaiba believing in his own will.
That and also it seems as though they set it up as Ishizu gave Obelisk to Kaiba as a motivator for him to make the tournament, because I think she knew this would happen where she would face him off in the beginning of Battle City finals and defeat him and get Obelisk back. So she, I think in her mind, believed she would be getting Obelisk back.
Yeah.
By the end of all this.
Mai and Merrick don't have a deeper theme between them. There's no clash of ideologies. There's no history between the two of them. There's no roles they both fulfill, but are on opposite sides of the same coin. Mai and Joey also both do not have the connection to Egypt, but Joey is super tight with the Pharaoh and has been wrapped up in all of his stuff since day one.
Yes, and also, like you said, there is some sort of there are some decent parallels between Odeon and Joey that you can go off of, especially as long as friendships and loneliness, and that's how you can kind of say that the friendship that Joey had won him that duel. Where even I don't know if they remember if they showed it, but they showed it in the manga they have like the dad, the Ishtar, Father Ishtar,
Yeah.
and little Merrick walk away, like figuratively walk away from Odeon as he's like passing out and saying like, oh, well, you couldn't be one of us like he was saying, you couldn't be one of us anyway. And as that happens, that's when evil Merrick sounds really fucked up to say, or like weird to say, or redundant.
Worse Merrick.
Worser Merrick comes out, so it's like everything gets worse for him, but that's because he's so alone. So it's like that kind of makes more sense. I get what you're saying with Mai and Merrick. There isn't as much of that kind of like thread. It is really just showing off how bad Merrick is, and
Right.
Unfortunately, Mai is the victim of that.
Which brings me to the next line of my dissertation. Merrick went sicko mode on Mai just because he saw the friendship squad come out and start cheering for her and was like, oh, you're friends, huh? Well, I'm gonna fuck you up extra hard for that. And like, why? Of all the people, she's like the least connected. She didn't take out your right-hand man like Joey did.
Not necessarily to be fair to the narrative, but more to fair of maybe it's like his motives. Really? It's stated that he doesn't really have any motives. He literally just wants to destroy everything. So he's just absolutely sadistic. He's just absolutely just wants to see pain, and that's where it kind of comes from that's where his motivation kind of goes with this, is where we just see, like, I think they just kind of got pitted against each other because I think the other three matches made more sense, and Takahashi kind of had to go, okay, well, by deduction, they have to go against each other. And it works in a way of like, okay, like Mai's a very stellar duelist, and here's how much better this evil Merrick is. Or at least, here's how much worse of a person he is.
But to call out that, we keep being told that Mai is a great duelist and seeing her go far in these tournaments. We never see her win.
No, that's one of my big, those are one of my bigger complaints with the series, because I think Mai's a great character and doesn't get enough positive screen time.
Yeah. In summary, Mai's character was sacrificed for the sake of making Merrick look evil. And we already knew he was evil. He was trying to do a murder. 10 minutes before the match began.
He was trying to do a what?
Yeah, murder. That thing that's illegal and you can't do.
He was going to do a Shadow Realm.
Oh, right. Sorry, I didn't mean to confuse the audience out there.
Yeah, I'm a 4Kids kid. Like a Toys R Us kid.
You're a 4Kids now.
But I do agree. I think I wish Mai had more screen time of positive notes. I wish maybe, I think we said this before. If for someday, if they ever ask us to do the Yu-Gi-Oh reboot and we're the ones show running it, all our filler episodes could be Mai duels. I'm really okay with that because it's fine. She needs more time and it doesn't really take away from the story, really.
Yeah.
As long as it's not the Jean-Claude Van Magnum Dong.
I don't like that sentence.
Me neither, but I said it.
And unfortunately, all these losses and character sacrifices are going to compound in the character assassination of Mai Valentine coming to the local Orichalcos arc near you.
Well, to get there, we have to move on. So I'll take over from here so you can lament and mourn for our fallen soldier. Trust me, when I put the title page out, it'll be a very good tribute to Mai. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I know I already planned for it to be a good tribute to Mai. But I'll move on, and we'll talk about a not as sad duel, but kind of actually pretty decent duel, pretty fun duel, with Kaiba going against Ishizu Ishtar in episode 93, chapters 165 to 167. We open up on Mai in her room, not able to wake from the traumatic events that had just transpired. Serenity is worried, as is everyone else, but Serenity decides to stay with Mai while everyone else goes to watch Kaiba face off against the mysterious 8th duelist, who I already said. We cut to Kaiba, who waits for his opponent and gets an update on Mokuba doing computer shit to translate the text of the Winged Dragon of Ra. I'm just going to say right now, I don't cover all of it, but Mokuba is just doing this throughout. This is your B-plot. They cut to Mokuba every once in a while doing kind of hacker shit, translating the fucking Winged Dragon of Ra. Trying to hack a photo of Winged Dragon of Ra to translate the text. As Kaiba approaches his side of the duel field, Yami tries talking to Kaiba, but he's too in the zone to want to listen. As Kaiba waits, the 8th duelist arrives and reveals herself to be Ishizu Ishtar, much to everyone's surprise. Ishizu tells Kaiba that she has come to save her brother. We see that the original Merrick tries to call out to Ishizu, So we see he still has some consciousness and is trapped, just like kind of Bakura would be, probably. Kind of in the same kind of idea. Ishizu declares she will be the winner in this duel, but Kaiba obviously doesn't believe in the Egyptian mumbo-jumbo that Ishizu is spitting. Kaiba vocalizes his displeasure in Ishizu using his tournament for her family drama and restates his goal for being the number one duelist and will use the God card she gave him to get there, even if it means using it on her. Ishizu reminds Kaiba that the tournament was her idea and that she needed all the pieces in place to stop Merrick. Kaiba doesn't want to hear anymore and just wants to start the duel. So the duel begins. Kaiba opens the duel with Voice Raider and a face down card, which as like the duel goes on, Ishizu will kind of say like, okay, he's going to put this face down card. He'll go, I put a face down card down. And that kind of happens throughout the duel. Ishizu takes her turn and summons Keldo without even looking. Like she has her eyes closed and she goes, bam. Yami reveals that the Millennium Necklace's power to the gang and Joey equivalates it to Esperoba, but Ishizu ain't got no brothers hiding on a roof somewhere or in the sky.
Ishizu does say that she cannot use her Millennium Necklace during a duel, so all this is stuff she looked at beforehand.
Oh, they don't establish that. They just kind of just say she predicts it all. So
yeah, it's a weird rule to have on the super powerful ancient item of magic.
Maybe it's like a concentration thing, I would say. So she can concentrate on the duel and the thing at the same time.
Also, Merrick will have dialogues to himself, remembering how his normal self never beat the deck Ishizu was using, which I think is very funny to be like, oh yeah, my sister always kicked my ass with this one. You're fucked, Kaiba.
Yeah, that is something he does say a long time, like a while ago. He's like, yeah, I never beat the deck, but now I like OG Merrick couldn't do it, but I could totally do it, kind of thing.
I'm different.
I'm built different. Merrick even reveals in his mind that her item does have limits, if we're actually kind of going there. Ishizu continues her turn with Michizuri of Doom, which exposes both players' hands and makes them discard 2 cards. Ishizu, without looking at Kaiba's hand, picks Kaiser Glider and Polymerization, which he doesn't really seem too upset about. Kaiba picks Monster Reborn and Revival Magic. And then we go into Merrick remembering Ishizu dueling, like her dueling tactics and how he would be beaten by her and everything, saying he's built different, whatever. And then while all that's happening, we see OG Merrick trapped in a pyramid-shaped glass, kind of like my Shadow's prison, but except there's no hourglass. It's more of just a pyramid. Kaiba takes his turn and has Voice Raider attack Ishizu's Keldo and destroy it. Ishizu is not worried and believes Kaiba is in over his head. Kaiba is planning to use the Crush card strategy to destroy Ishizu's deck, but Ishizu is aware of this plan though, and that Kaiba plans to use Obelisk the Tormentor to defeat her, but she has a plan to use that against him, ultimately winning the duel. Ishizu summons Mudora and then plays the magic card Sword of Dagra to strengthen Mudora and have it attack Voice Raider. Kaiba believes she fell for his trap and activates the magic card Shrink to have Voice Raider's attack so he can activate the Crush card Virus Trap card to destroy all of Ishizu's most powerful monsters, just like he did to Yami in Duelist Kingdom, if you remember that. If you don't, go listen to that episode. Get educated. Yami wonders if Ishizu planned for this, and then while Ishizu then plays Swords of Revealing Light to stop Kaiba's momentum. She doesn't do this in the manga. Kaiba asks why she's stalling, and Ishizu responds that it's Kaiba's destiny to lose, as he can't help but to destroy himself. Kaiba scoffs it off as Ishizu ends with a face down card. Kaiba starts his move and summons Dark Gremlin, which is Death's Feral Imp actually, and plays Virus Cannon face down. Ishizu passes her turn and has one of her destiny monologues. The two both pass their turns until the swords are gone. Ishizu draws the card she needs to defeat Kaiba in those turns. Kaiba then draws into Obelisk the Tormentor and attacks with Death's Feral Imp. I don't like calling it Dark Gremlin because it doesn't sound right. Sending Ishizu down to 2,400 life points. Kaiba boasts his power with Obelisk and that Ishizu will succumb to the might of his God card as the episode ends. Moving on, we will go on to episode 94, which covers chapters 168 to 171. We pick up where we left off with Kaiba being skeptical about Ishizu, and Ishizu stares stone cold at Kaiba as she believes she has the match won. The gang is starting to wonder as they see she's like a rock up there, even though she has lost all her best cards and is caught with a nasty case of the Crush card virus. In the manga, Yami is pondering Ishizu's strategy and realizes her connection to the strategy is because she is a tomb guardian and tombs are found in a graveyard, so he believes the graveyard is a keyword in her strategy, which is definitely bad because most of her cards are there. Merrick even sees his path to defeat. Kaiba activates Virus Cannon to wipe out 10 magic cards in Ishizu's deck, but Ishizu is unfazed by this. Kaiba is feeling triumphant as he has seemingly succeeded in wiping out all of Ishizu's monsters and master cards from her deck. Ishizu reveals that with this move, though, he's sealed his own fate. Ishizu reveals Exchange of the Spirit, which replaces the cards in their graveyard with the cards in their deck, which would leave Kaiba with only 6 cards left in his entire deck. Kaiba is utterly stunned. I don't think we've ever seen such a face of like defeat and shock on his face before. Like I've never seen like, it's like kind of looks desperate in a way I've never even really seen, even when he was losing to Pegasus.
He is molding.
It was kind of like, what?
How dare you get rid of my cards? I get rid of your cards.
That's what I do.
Son of a bitch. Fuck. Mokuba here? No? Cool. Shit.
Can't curse in front of him. He's too young. Ishizu takes her turn and summons Kelbeck and passes her turn with a face down. Kaiba draws Virus Cannon, which Ishizu predicts, and when Kaiba tries to use it, Ishizu counters with Muko to stop the activation and send it to the graveyard. Kaiba does an attack with his monster, which confuses the cheer squad, but Yami explains Kaiba might use Ishizu cards to summon Obelisk with the magic card Soul Exchange, which he happens to have in his hand. Ishizu summons Zolga and passes. Yami tries to interject to say Kaiba's in over his head with the duel, but I don't like how the dub does this translation, as in the manga, Yami tells Kaiba that he can see Kaiba's future and sees a battle waiting to be fought. Battle City will not end until they have had their match, which kind of like psychs Kaiba back up. Ishizu has Zolga destroy Kaiba's monster and Kelbeck attack his life points directly and ends with a face down card. Kaiba draws and has his card get sent to the graveyard as Ishizu activates another Muko. Kaiba plays 1 card face down and passes his turn. Ishizu sees the end coming to fruition and plays 1 card face down, which is the key to her victory, and summons a 3rd monster for Kaiba to use Soul Exchange, and Kaiba takes the bait and summons Obelisk. Unfortunately for him, there's a bomb waiting inside Obelisk thanks to Ishizu's face down card, which was planted in Zola and transferred to Obelisk because that's how the card works, and it will destroy Obelisk and wipe out the rest of his life points as soon as it attacks. Ishizu knows she has the win and waits for destiny to reveal itself. Merrick also sees the end of the duel happening and decides he doesn't really need to actually witness it, so he decides to walk away. But suddenly, his Millennium item starts to glow, much to his surprise, and stops Kaiba from declaring his attack. He starts seeing visions of like Egyptian texts and like tablets and all this stuff and all the things we've already seen in scriptures, until we get a clear vision of an Egyptian priest on his knees holding a seeming like presumably unconscious woman with white hair while gazing upon the blue eyes white dragon tablet in ancient Egypt. So obviously this connects to the priest he has connection with from 5,000 years ago. Kaiba is overwhelmed by this feeling that he needs to rethink his moves, while everyone, especially Merrick, is stunned by what is occurring. Merrick's more stunned by the Millennium Rod. The gangs were stunned by why Kaiba stopped attacking, to be clear. Kaiba decides to use his Blue Eyes White Dragon instead to win the duel. Kaiba plays Silent Doom to revive Gadget Soldier, which shocks Ishizu for the first time all duel, as this wasn't in her vision. Kaiba decides to sacrifice not only Gadget Soldier, but Obelisk the Tormentor itself to summon his most trusted and valuable monster, Blue Eyes the White Dragon, which stuns everyone who is watching. But I think it's really cool, to be honest with you. Both Ishtar siblings are shocked, but theorize his ties with the ancient world are behind this. Kaiba declares the final blow from Blue Eyes onto Ishizu, who loses the duel. Kaiba is declared the winner, and Ishizu is convinced he is the true possessor of a god card by overcoming fate, stating Kaiba's heritage is the key to his power. Ishizu tells Kaiba he taught her a great lesson and has given her hope to change the future from the evil clutches of the spirit in her brother. She thanks Kaiba and says she believes he will help in stopping the dark future she foresaw, which is kind of true. Spoilers. Kaiba walks off the arena and stops as he passes Yami to warn him to prepare for their duel now. He kind of says, like, I'd prepare for our duel now if I were you, and Yami agrees. Ishizu believes Kaiba will accept his destiny when the time comes and the world will be saved as the episode ends. So, pretty easy, pretty standard, pretty, good kind of end duel, but like nothing like as kind of, I guess, mind-blowing as the rest of the other ones.
Yeah, I acknowledge I was much more invested in the first duels we covered, but I did think that the Kaiba Shiza duel was very quick and nothing.
I would call it like nothing. But I wouldn't call it, like, compared to everything else, it's very, like,
it didn't
not
have the
as
stakes
grandiose.
of all the other duels.
No, it really didn't. And they kind of tried to make it so it isn't like...
should have made it a Shadow King.
She should have just to fuck around. Just to fuck around. I do like the ending a lot. I like that we're getting more Kaiba's ties to the ancient Egyptian world and the millenniums and everything. I like that they're kind of sowing those seeds pretty early. And, well, I guess not pretty early, but they're at least like kind of like, it's kind of, they're starting to blossom a little bit with everything. I know they'll really start to blossom later on.
Yeah, they're hitting us with the white woman jump scare.
Literally. But like, I guess compared to everything else, Yugi and Bakura's duel is always great because those are literally the two biggest players of the whole thing, in a preview match kind of. And it's also good for Yami because he's really kind of like understanding his role in all of this. The Joey Odeon duel has a lot of cool things with like narrative and friendship and loneliness, and Odeon's a really good character for what his role is, and Joey's just fantastic as a character for the most part. Then Bai and Merrick is like, I mean, there's definitely emotional investment on either end, and while it's kind of not really like there's no connections, you still feel for Mai, and I think the anime does a pretty good job with that one too. This one, it's like, it's a good Kaiba duel, and I like Ishizu as a duelist, so I enjoy the duel for what it is, but it doesn't have the same stakes as everything else, really, which is a shame, but it is what it is.
A minor thing I appreciate about these duels is looking back at Duelist Kingdom in that finals. I believe the winner of each match was whoever was on the right side of the arena, whereas in this finals, the players on the right side won the first two, and now the players on the left side won the last two.
Well, that's kind of interesting. I actually didn't notice that or clock that, so good on you for doing so. It kind of, maybe it's a nice little kind of reminder of where people are. I don't know, or whatever. A good prediction of where our finals are.
You could also say the person standing on the left side is who's the biggest asshole in this duel.
You know what? That's kind of true too. Because everyone on the left side is truly the biggest asshole of each match. You cannot say Shizu is not a bigger asshole than Seto Kaiba.
Something I appreciate about Ishizu is the difference between her attitude when she was giving like that first interview about the museum on the TV, and her dropping the customer service voice when dealing with anyone outside of that.
I know. It's really
too real.
Funny. Too fucking real. Customer service. Anyone who's really nice to you is... sometimes they're actually genuinely nice to you, especially if you're giving them respect, but believe me, if you're being an asshole and they're doing the customer service voice, they just want you to get the fuck out of there. And trust me, they can't do anything for you if they already couldn't before. So getting mad at them doesn't help. So don't be fucking Karen's kids. But on that note, do you have any kind of final thoughts before we kind of move on to what we need to move on to? Oh, I'm just seeing Phoenix looking dejected.
This is truly the Dark Souls of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh man, it's a shame. I'm sorry, Phoenix. I know that's how much you like Mai.
Yeah, you see the truck coming, and you can't help but look at it like an oncoming cow.
We kept. You can't. We've talked about preparing for this mentally, and even as we got here, it still hurts. So it is what it is. We'll see Mai again soon, or at least we'll talk about her soon. Won't see her much again. Funny enough, Merrick does say they have 24 hours to beat him before she gets fucked forever. Obviously, it doesn't say that in the anime because there's gonna be like a half a season of filler they're gonna have to get through, so it's probably gonna take days. So they probably couldn't do that.
Well, I'm pretty sure that half season of filler takes place at a different time rate because it's not real.
But like, how long are they in the fucking thing? I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see next season, but we have to get to our season finale first. As next episode, we are getting to our season 2 finale. We're going to be there. It's going to be there. And we're going to cover Ishtar family lore and then finish it up with a duel between Evil Bakura and Eviler Merrick, I guess.
Merricker.
I don't know if they're you can make an argument on which one's more evil, Bakura or Merrick at this point, but probably Bakura.
At this point, Merrick.
At this point, but I feel like we're not. Whatever, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get to our season 2 finale, and then I think we're gonna take another, not like we're gonna take another season break, maybe two episodes or a couple episodes of specials of stuff, just to kind of
we'll
break
have
it up.
Something in between.
I think, that's what probably we'll do. And then we'll get to Noah.
Oh, Noah.
Blue-haired mini Kaiba looking fuck. You got the same haircut.
We're doing the digital world again. Whee!
Oh well. Any thoughts? You ready? Just kind of we kind of went on long enough, I think, with this one.
I think we've covered enough ground.
I think so too. So, do you want to hit your socials?
Sure, you can find me on the internet, twitch.tv/Phoenix Farce, youtube.com, also Phoenix Farce. You can find me casual gameplay of digital card games, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, MTG Arena, Marvel Snap. Stop by for a good time, not a long time. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at apapasergpappassergi. I post art stuff. I will be posting music stuff someday. It's probably up by now, hopefully. But I'll be posting all my kind of creative stuff on that Instagram, and then you can also find us Kuribros on anywhere your podcasts are being distributed. Definitely like Spotify and Apple and all those kinds of places. Podbean, blah 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 blah. You'll find us on Instagram at Kuribros. You'll find us on Twitter. I'm calling it Twitter still. I don't give a fuck. _ Kuribros. And then you can find us on YouTube at the Kuribros as well. And yeah, and we'll have more of those videos up. We'll have reels. We'll do all that kind of stuff probably by the time you hear this. So yeah, we're excited to give us a comment. Give us the whole thing. Goodbye. All right, signing off. My name's Andy.
I'm Phoenix.
Giddy up and goodbye.
I miss my wife, Tails. I miss her a lot.